my name is Susie Lynch, and my dogs are Moxie and Millie. And the biggest transformation that I have seen from training is our daily battle rhythm. My dogs now know how to, we get up in the morning, they eat, we have their enrichment time, and then they are settled for a couple hours. I work from home, so the ability for them to settle while I work is amazing. And then we do playtime at lunch, and then they settle again for the afternoon while I finish my work day. And that has been the biggest transformation for us. Moxie and Millie are from a rescue here in Little Rock, Arkansas, called Out of the Ashes Pit Bull Rescue. And we got them during COVID. And so they were two litter mates that were found in a farmer's field. And so we heard about them through Facebook and decided that we were willing to take on the challenge of 2 puppies while we were all home. We've had them for about 5 years. Their estimated birth date is May of 2020. In the first year, they were pretty out of control. So until we met Elizabeth through Telltail and figured out that they are trainable. They're actually very trainable, and they are really eager to learn new things. And so once we figured that part out, it made our household much more peaceful. I had bully pit bull mixes prior to these 2, and I really wanted to find a place that had them. They are hard to place here in Little Rock, Arkansas, because there are many townships that do not allow their bully mix, and so we wanted to make sure that we were giving a home to dogs that desperately needed them. I found Telltail Dog also through Facebook and Instagram, so I have accounts on both. And I was looking through different dog training opportunities here in Little Rock, and then I actually did request through, there's a group of Little Rock Power Women, and I said, who is the best dog trainer in the Little Rock area, that especially one that could come to your home? And they said, you need to hire Elizabeth through Telltail Training. She's the one that's going to come help you decide what your dogs need and how you can best work with them. I picked Moxie and Millie because they were sisters, and I thought that having 2 dogs together would be easier. Turns out that that's actually not easier, and there's actually a lot of resource aggression between the 2 of them. And one of the things that Elizabeth has really taught us is how to deal with that, how to separate them when they need to be separated, and how to show them both the love that they need while still being sisters. Turns out that sister dogs are not always the best companion dogs, and if, for all those of you listening, if you would like to get 2 dogs, I highly recommend you get not litter mates. We picked the names Moxie and Millie because the day that the rescue brought them to our home, Moxie was as FOMO as you could possibly get, and she explored every inch of our house. We actually had them on the porch first, so the porch and then our house, and could not settle because she just wanted to be in everything. She showed a lot of spunk. She showed a lot of a spirit. And then Millie, because she was much more calm. She was much more of your southern lady. I'm going to be a Mildred, a Millie. I'm going to be calm and cool and collective. And that still tends to be their actual personalities today, for the most part. Millie does get a little bit excited sometimes, but for the most part, she's the one that kind of looks, and Moxie's the one that's into everything. Yeah. We picked Moxie and Millie because I wanted bully mixed dogs. And through the rescue site that I had found, they had bully mixed puppies right at the time where we had actually previously lost our other dog. And so my kids were upset. We did not have a dog in the house. It was COVID, so we were all in the house. And so we had decided that these 2 might be fun. And I saw videos of them on the internet zooming around their foster's house and perfectly happy. And they had been vetted and were healthy. And so we decided that these were the 2 for us. About a year after we got the dogs, the kids all went back to school. And so after having been a COVID household with 5 members of the household and 2 dogs, we had plenty of people around to help with the dogs and play with them. When everybody went back to school and work, except for me, I work from home, I noticed that they were driving me crazy all day as I tried to work from home, and also kind of terrorizing everybody else at night with their need for wanting attention. Not because they were being bad, but just they really wanted attention. But their attention seeking was, stealing socks and tearing things up and a few other things that were just really disruptive. And so I sought out a trainer because I really wanted to figure out how to work with their personalities and get them to a place where they could be comfortable with the home, just being them, and being happy without being entirely disruptive. The second piece of the reason why I chose for training is they became terrors on leashes, and they would fight each other. So they would do what Elizabeth has taught me is called resource sharing. And so they would both see a squirrel, and they would both want the squirrel. And so instead of going after the squirrel, they would try to bite each other's faces off because they are very territorial like that. And so how do I take them on a walk, the 2 of them together, without them being distracted by all the other things on the walk? So we've actually done a lot of walk training to make sure that they know how to do that without hurting each other or another dog. I have worked with Elizabeth at Telltail Training for 3.5 years. As I said before, we had gotten the dogs, and a year later was when we really needed to get some help with learning their personalities, learning how to deal with them, and learning how to the effective way to train them in a good way. I love that she does the treat-based training, and so a reward-based training, and so they know when they're doing good, they're very happy, they smile. So when they know that they've done what we've asked them to do, they're smiley, they're happy, their tails are wagging, and I just love that because I've experienced before where dogs get punished, and I did not like that methodology at all.
When their tails are wagging in sync.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, they do.
Boop, boop, boop,
Yeah,
boop.
they're like they do the twin thing.
Yeah.
I highly recommend Telltail Training and Elizabeth. She's very patient. She's very kind. She's also very flexible. So my schedule is pretty crazy. I have 3 kids and a full-time job, and so I'm willing to work with us to make sure that we do the best thing for us and the dogs. And I appreciate her very much. So my goals for the future are to continue the training the successes that we've had so far with Moxie and Millie. I still would like to do a little bit better job of being able to get their harnesses on without the chaos. They tend to feed off each other, and so the one thing that I have yet to totally master is how to, without totally separating them, prevent them from feeding off each other and being calm while we're working one or the other. And that may never happen. They are sisters, they're litter mates, but just learning different techniques to make sure that they're not fighting each other for our attention, and they both understand that they're going to get it. They just may have to wait their turn, just like kids. My favorite thing about bully mixes is that they are fiercely loyal. And so, and actually my children even make comments like, "Mom, they're your dogs," because they have been with me the most. They bark at the door because they are protective, but they're not protective in the sense that I've ever had an issue with them harming any other animal or any other person. But they do stick by my side. So recently we had some exchange students in our house as house guests, and both dogs stayed at my heels for about the first 5 hours that the kids were at the house, because they just really want to make sure that their person and their people are taken care of. But they also, at the same time, warmed up to, as soon as they realized that our exchange students were part of our house for the week, became part of our house, and they just glommed onto them just like they do my kids. And so that's that loyalness and that not protectiveness is a little bit strong, but the wanting to be with their people is my favorite part of them. So one of the things that I've really noticed too is like I said before, Moxie was really interested in everything and everybody right when we first started, but Millie was very scared of other people coming into our home. Some of that's because they were here with COVID for a year with really nobody else here, but also she's just really standoffish of other people. And now the awesome thing is Millie has learned, okay, I'm gonna sit when somebody comes to the door, I'm gonna sniff them out, I might bark at them a couple times, but it's okay for them to approach them if they give me their hand. And that's been a huge bonus for her, to not sit there and just bark at our guests the whole time. My name is Susie Lynch. My dogs are Moxie and Millie, and this has been our training journey with Telltail Dog.